Zeus's love affairs.
Oh, Zeus, the original heartbreaker of Mount Olympus. This guy had more love affairs than most people have hot dinners. His dear wife, Hera, oh so secure in her marriage, couldn't help but get a tad jealous. And boy, did she know how to dish out some epic revenge. Here's the juiciest gossip on Zeus's greatest hits in the love department. Metis. Alright, let's dive into the saga of Metis, the lady titan with a PhD in wisdom, prudence, and deep thinking. Her parents? None other than the titans Oceanus and Tessis, so you know she's got good genes. Now, Metis was basically the Sherlock Holmes of the divine world, outsmarting even Zeus. Zeus, not one to shy away from a challenge, fell head over heels for her wisdom and good looks. But, oh snap, there was a prophecy. It said if Metis had a kid, that little bundle of joy would kick Zeus off his throne. So, Zeus, in a move that'd make any scheming villain proud, went for some divine advice from the OGs, Gaia and Uranus. They were all like, dude, you gotta move fast. Since Metis was not just a smarty pants but also a bit of a fortune teller, Zeus had to be crafty. He managed to pull a fast one on her, convincing her to change into a fly, and then, in a gutsy move, he swallowed her whole. Inside Zeus's belly, Metis set up shop, becoming the oracle in residence. She became his go-to advisor for all things important. Fast forward a bit, and Zeus starts dealing with the mother of all migraines. This guy's in agony, and no aspirin is gonna cut it. So, he turns to his son Hephaestus, the god of craftsmanship. Hephaestus whips out his divine toolkit, grabs an axe, and gives Zeus's head a good whack. Lo and behold, out pops Athena, fully grown and armored. Turns out, Metis was already pregnant with Athena when Zeus swallowed her. Athena, now the goddess of wisdom and war, became a rock star in no time. Leto. Oh, let's get into the drama of Leto's life, shall we? So, this chick Leto, daughter of Titans Coeus and Phoebe, was basically a poster child for motherhood and all things virtuous. Zeus, the top dog of the gods, fell head over heels for her grace and decided he needed a piece of that goddess pie, but hold your horses. Hera, his wife Apu and queen bee of the gods, caught wind of his little crush and boy, was she not having it? Jealousy level, off the charts. Hera didn't just target Zeus with her fury, she aimed right at Leto herself. Hera went full-on goddess mode, using her mighty powers to throw every obstacle possible at Leto. She declared a total ban on any piece of land or island offering Leto a safe haven for birthing. Talk about harsh. Poor Leto was left wandering the globe, contracting and moaning, without a cozy spot to pop out her babies. In her wild goose chase, Leto finally stumbled upon Delos, this quirky floating island in the Aegean Sea. You see, it didn't count for Hera's ban because it wasn't even attached to the seabed. Score 1 for Leto, 0 for Hera. Here, on the wobbly but safe Delos, Leto finally got to have her moment. She popped out her twins, Artemis and Apollo, like a champ. Artemis took the lead, helping her mom through the labor, and the next day, out came Apollo. Europa. Oh, let's dive into the tale of Europa, shall we? This Phoenician princess was basically the belle of the ball. Known far and wide for her drop-dead gorgeous looks and charm. She was living it up on the eastern Mediterranean coast, turning heads left and right. Enter Zeus, the big cheese of the gods, who couldn't resist a good-looking mortal. So what's his grand plan? He decides to play the ultimate diva move and transforms himself into a suave white bull, oozing elegance and zen vibes. He slips into Europa's dad's cattle crew, just casually grazing by the shore. Europa, being the brave and curious gal she is, decides to investigate this new bovine sensation. She checks out Mr. Zen Bull and, lo and behold, musters up the guts to hop on his back. Smooth move Zeus. With Europa aboard, he makes a dash for the sea. As they hit the waves, Zeus does his quick change act back into god form, like a celestial magician. "Hey, it's me, Zeus," he announces to a probably very surprised Europa. Next stop, the swanky island of Crete, where Zeus sets up Europa as his new leading lady. And, of course, what's a divine union without some over-the-top gifts? Zeus showers Europa with goodies, including the super fancy automaton Talos, who's now on guard duty. Time rolls on. And Europa and Zeus become quite the power couple, popping out 3 strapping lads, Minos, Rhadamanthus, and Sarpedon. These kiddos would grow up to be major players in Greek mythology, especially Minos, who'd later rock the title of legendary king of Crete, known for his Minotaur shenanigans in the labyrinth. Talk about keeping it all in the family, huh? Samil. Oh, let's dive into the soap opera that is Samil's life, shall we? She was a mortal princess with a VIP pass to the Temple of Zeus, thanks to her fancy parentage. Beauty? Check. Devoted priestess? Double check. Now, Zeus, the top dog of the gods, couldn't resist a good-looking priestess, especially one who knew her way around a sacrifice. Cue the sparks. Their little rendezvous became steamier than a Greek summer. But oh no, here comes Hera, the reigning queen of jealousy, ready to rain on everyone's parade. She pulls off a disguise worthy of an Oscar and tricks Samil into asking Zeus to reveal his true divine form, just as he did for Hera. Samil, totally buying into the whole charade, makes the ask. And because Zeus can't renege on his promise, he agrees. But when he turns up in all his godly glory, poor Samil goes up in flames, like a tragic magic show gone horribly wrong. In a lightning-fast move, Zeus snatches their unborn baby, because, priorities. He pulls a bizarre birthing maneuver and tucks the fetus into his thigh, because why not, right? Fast forward a few months, and boom, Dionysus bursts forth from Zeus's thigh, ready to take on the world. Io. Alright, let's roll with Io's wild ride through the world of ancient drama and divine dodgy dealings. Io, the temple hottie dedicated to Hera, caught the eye of none other than Zeus, the Casanova of Mount Olympus. Hera, ever the eagle-eyed spouse, caught wind of Zeus's wandering eye and decided to play detective. She swooped down from the divine summit to get the scoop. Now, Zeus, the king of quick fixes, decided to pull a holy cow move. He turned Io into a snowy cow faster than you can say moo. But Hera wasn't about to buy that bovine facade. She was all, "Tell me about this cow." Zeus, cornered, handed Io over like a reluctant birthday gift. Enter Argus Panopts, the dude with eyes everywhere, thanks to his 100-eyed superpower. He was like a walking surveillance system with a knack for napping with most of his peepers closed. Zeus, meanwhile, was in a bind. He still had the hots for Io but couldn't break past Argus' peep show. So, he dialed up his buddy Hermes, the smooth operator. Hermes whipped out his lyre and played Argus a lullaby that would make even a baby Cyclops snooze. With Argus out cold, Hermes gave him a trim of the head, that is. Io was finally free, but oh boy, Hera wasn't about to let it slide. She let a crazy bug chase Io, turning her into a professional sprinter. Io raced across continents, probably wishing she'd stuck to temple duty. Her travels took her from Europe to Asia via the Bosporus Strait, like a cross-continental relay race. Finally, in Egypt, Zeus took pity on her and turned her back into a human. Leader. The royal soap opera continues with the lovely Leader, a true beauty whose looks could launch 1,000 ships. She was not only the daughter of King Thestius and wife to King Tyndareus of Sparta, but also quite the head-turner in her own right. Now, in swoops Zeus, the ultimate Romeo of Olympus, ready to add another chapter to his romantic resume. He's spotted Leader and decides to pull out all the stops. How, you ask? By transforming into a swan, because nothing says romance like being a majestic waterfowl. Picture this, Leader, taking a leisurely dip in a river or a pond, depends on which version you're into, when suddenly, there's Zeus, waddling up in all his feathery glory. Sure, it's a bit odd, but Leader's like, alright, Swan, let's chat. As Leader and the Swan have their little tete-a-tete, Zeus seizes the moment, because when you're a god, why not? Long story short, they have a little divine rendezvous, resulting in not one, but two sets of twins. Talk about overachievers, huh? First up, we've got Castor and Pollux, aka the Double Trouble duo, famous for their courage and inseparable bond. Then, there's Helen of Troy, whose face launched 1,000 ships, and her sister Clytemnestra, who later hitched her wagon to King Agamemnon. But wait, there's more. Leader's not just married to Zeus on the side, she's also got good old King Tyndareus in the picture. So, it's a bit of a who's the daddy situation. The kids? Well, they get the honor of being credited to both dads. Alright, so Zeus, the big cheese up there in Godville, had a bit of a wandering eye, if you catch my drift. This guy's love life was like a soap opera on Mount Olympus. The other gods and goddesses were constantly side-eyeing each other, like, who's he courting this time? I mean, seriously, his love escapades are practically a highlight reel in Greek mythology. It's like Zeus was saying, hey, I'm the boss around here, and I'm gonna smooch whoever I want. And you better believe it added some serious spice to the family picnics up there. So there you have it, folks. The legend of Zeus, the original heartthrob of the gods, and the man who turned Olympus into one heck of a love triangle. The end. And if it's not too much trouble, please like and subscribe.